Hey there, how are you? How are you doing? We are back for another Woman Chat Wednesday. I'm on a roll here. You don't even understand. Like I am really sticking to my guns here and and being accountable to myself and making sure that I come and I show up because I surely was like, can I do this tomorrow? I really was like trying to allow myself. Hey y'all. Hey exclusively elusive. Thank you for being here. I'm me, Mary. How y'all doing? Um yeah, I was really trying to like give myself an out to try to do this tomorrow. And I was like, no, this is what I said I wanted to do. This is what I'm gonna do. Um so yeah, I was thinking about this topic for like the last couple of days among some other topics. So yeah, also I hope you guys are watching the standalone little snippet videos I'm doing. So let me first of all, how are you doing? How was your week? Let me know in the comments how you guys have been holding up. Also, you're welcome. I did the whole thing. Like I said, I really was trying to like in my mind be like, I'm not going to do this stuff, but I did everything and I'm proud of me. So I want to thank you guys for continuously showing up. And I want to continue to bring you guys production. Oh, yeah. These are my Valentine's nails. You see the little heart things? I'm new to the, what is this called? The metallic nail polishes. I do my own nails. Like I do my own overlays. My nails underneath, but I do my own polygel overlays and stuff. And so up until now, I just have been using like regular polish and then like a gel top coat. So now I have some of this. These are my only, it's like a pack of 3. One is like more sheer, and then as you get to the third one, they're more opaque, but they're the metallic things. So I did hearts for Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day is coming up soon. So happy Valentine's Day to you guys. This week will be the Valentine's week. Thank you. Well, I went to school for this stuff, so I may as well do it right. I don't feel like doing nothing for nobody else no more, so I may as well at least keep myself looking cute, right? Um, but yeah, this is Valentine's week, so happy Valentine's Day to everybody who is celebrating, everybody who cares about Valentine's Day. Um, I generally don't, you know me. But I do celebrate like with my family, with my daughter, things like that. Um, but I don't know. This year, well, first of all, with everything that's going on in this year, I don't know who's thinking about, silly things, but love isn't silly. And that's why I'm glad I chose to do this, because I was debating between doing this topic and doing Nigga by a Cream was about to get me again. Nigga by a Cream was about to get me because I saw a clip of him talking to some guy. I realized too, I'm really in my auntie. I think that I'm plugged in like that, but I don't think I'm as plugged in as I thought I was, because there's a bunch of people that like are in the current events, the trending topics and stuff that I realize I do not know. Like even today, the people I'm talking about, I don't know nothing about no sports balls. Okay, I don't know nothing about no sports balls, but I happened to see these people in passing, and I thought, I'm seeing a pattern emerging. I wanted to talk about this stuff. But let me see here. It says I'm starting with press-ons. There's a place you can buy them and they install them. Oh, that's nice. That's good. Yeah. I mean, recession indicator. Everybody doing their own hair, everybody doing their own nails. But I've been doing my own nails for, I want to say, about 4 years now. I might have started in like 2021, 2022, doing my own nails with the poly gel. So I really enjoy it. It cuts down on a lot of time, cuts down on a lot of money. Well, it does cut down on a lot of money, but I've started spending more money on, like I said, nail polishes and the uh the little tools to do the designs and stuff with the polish and things. But mostly I would just buy like nail polish colors from the dollar store, because I would just do the gel polish overlay. So between the poly gel over my regular nail, and then the regular polish, and then the gel top coat, I'd be fine. You know what I mean? So I was, it's very cost effective for me to just do my own nails. She said, you too. It'll be my first video as a single woman. Oh, okay. In 4 years, no more managing my expectations, no more showing and more showing up for me. Oh, that's so nice. I hate that, the idea that like you had to manage your expectations, and like I assume that that meant like you weren't getting the things you thought you should be getting for Valentine's Day. And I hate that. Even in my relationship, I celebrated myself during that time, but now I'm linked with myself. The my best Valentine's Day memory is, I don't remember what year that was, but it was the year the movie He's Just Not That Into You came out. And I remember I took myself to the movies, and there's this place in Philly called Warm Daddy's that was down there. It's not there anymore. It's a restaurant, black owned. And I took myself to Warm Daddy's, and then the movie theater was right there. So I went to Warm Daddy's, had me a little meal, like a grown up. I remember I had on like these platform red pumps, and I had on like this huge, it was kind of like a tunic, not a tunic. I don't know how to explain it, but like a goddess type top, but it had zippers on the side. Like I just felt very cute and metropolitan. It felt like how I had imagined my life to be. Like I felt like I was on Girlfriends or something. You know what I mean? And I took myself out to a nice dinner, and then I went to see He's Just Not That Into You, and I enjoyed that movie. I enjoyed the messaging of that movie, which is another reason why we're on theme, is another reason why kind of I'm having the conversation I'm having tonight, and in the way that I'm having it, because I just feel like, especially now with all the negative stuff that's going on, and all the abhorrent stuff that's going on, and all the very serious deathly stuff that's going on, um I just happened to notice something that I felt like was kind of positive and kind of hopeful or whatever. And so that's what I wanted to bring to y'all timeline with this conversation. And also I just was like, period, like the things that I was noticing. So I wanted to bring that to y'all. And it just hit me that it kind of coincides with um Valentine's Day coming up. So that's really exciting for me. She said, I remember I took myself on a movie date for Valentine's Day in high school. I had some Nike sneaks with the Valentine's Day. Oh, that sounds so cute. She said, I was so like, yes, you were. That is so cute. And that is what this channel is about. It's really about like loving on yourself, about self-actualization, about knowing that you are a whole person, knowing that you are valuable and not banking your personal value on external validation, on external things, like being able to have a firm basis in your value to yourself, and then letting everything else reflect that back to you, like how you relate to other people and the stuff that's going on, all that type of things. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead, play the intro. We'll get started here, and then we can go ahead on and see what I say. Child, this thing has been messing with me all day long. But that was my fault because I tried to be slick. I tried to do something um slick, and I was trying to set up. I have a little camcorder, and I was trying to use the camcorder as the camera so I would have like better quality on the camera, but it was a whole thing, so I've had to like reset a bunch of settings. But anyway, y'all don't care about that. Here we go. Oh my God.
No problem. You in charge of the girls, right? I am in charge of the girls. Are you in charge of the girls? I am in charge of the girls.
Okie dokie. So, I have been perusing these internet streets, as you know, and I happened to come across. First of all, we know the Super Bowl just happened. What's today? Today's Wednesday, so Super Bowl just happened about 4 days ago, and Cardi B apparently seems to have. Well, she definitely unfollowed. What's that boy name? What is that boy? See, that just goes to show I do not pay these people any attention. Diggs, Stefan Diggs. She unfollowed Stefan Diggs. Appears Stefan Diggs unfollowed her. There was also a bit of kerfuffle because he invited his baby mamas to the game, and word on the street is that was a big problem because Cardi felt like his baby mamas do the most, and they're trying to compete with her, and they're trying to like cause a bunch of friction and issues with her and Stuffy Dog. Right. Issues with her, provoke her, whatever. And he invited them, and so the women were posting and making a big deal and signifying to her, these are all things I saw on social media. I didn't bring that over here because it's not really relevant too much to what we're talking about, or at least not in a major way, and I want to get through that. I have a lot of things I'm going to be going through, but yeah, so she apparently was upset about that. When they asked her at the game, the reporters and stuff, they were like, hey, Summer, not off brand girl, we're going to get to that too. When they asked her like if she had any words for him before the game, she just said good luck in a very dry way. So it just seemed there was trouble in paradise, right? Say he didn't tell Cardi he was being tricky. Listen, he got a lot going on. They both got a lot going on. So he also got in this big brawl at the end of the game. I saw something. I saw somebody pushed him. See, I didn't watch the game. First of all, I didn't watch any of the game. I went to bed that night. I watched the halftime show. I woke up like in the middle of the night, and then I watched the halftime show. But I'm not big on sports ball. If anything, I I like basketball better than I like football. And maybe because I played a little basketball in middle school, and it just football just is more complicated than I care to want to know. Sometimes I like what I see, but also I'm getting older, so the people are looking like children to me. Like Stefan Diggs looks young in the face to me. You know what I mean? So it's like in terms of wanting to look at something for aesthetic reasons and womanly reasons, I'm looking at them and I'm seeing little kids. So it's just like there's really nothing there for me. um yeah. So Cardi and Stefan seem to be on the outs. But something that's been emerging for a while now. There are a couple people that I see like in the periphery on my feed on TikTok. I know the one girl, I happened to see something about her a couple months ago. I was like, oh, okay, period. The other girl, she is always on my feed for, what her work is, her advocacy and whatnot. But more recently, within the last week or so, I saw what I'm gonna show you. And I was just like, okay, so then I'm looking and I'm thinking, and I'm like, oh, this looks a little bit like an emerging trend, possibly. We don't know. So I just wanted to explore it. That being said, let me go to my notes. So what I want to kind of draw attention to is I want to subvert assumptions of what's available to plus size women, first and foremost, when it comes to the dating market, and specifically when it comes to the idea of like high value dating marketplace. Um, I also want to prompt some analysis of the types of men that women are viewing as high value. So that goes to that person's point of saying he was a discount offset or knockoff offset. So I want to analyze who we're viewing as high value and why. I want to prompt some self-assessment in women in terms of what they think they are bringing to the table when it comes to desirability. And I also want to highlight the hubris of those aforementioned thought patterns that lead to outcomes like Cardi B's. Now, mind you, typically I tend to try to shy away from and discuss like romantic relationships in the sense of like trying to go after a romantic relationship. However, I recognize that a lot of women still want to deal with men. And furthermore, sorry, you'll see because I'm going to show you what I've been seeing. And in that, I've been getting like more of an optimism, not necessarily for myself as much as for younger people, like people my daughter's age and younger. My oldest daughter will be 22 this year. And even she, like some of what I've been seeing reminds me of her and her boyfriend. She has a little boyfriend. He's not a athlete or anything, but in terms of like his demeanor and the way I've seen him present and the way he has the way she speaks about him, and when I talk to him, the vibes I got off of him, I'm just seeing things that are making me feel like the kids are all right. And so I wanted to highlight that. All right, so first thing I want to draw your attention, and I know you guys may have seen the thumbnail. There are two ladies that are on the thumbnail. We're going to discuss those ladies, and we're also going to discuss another couple that I've been seeing again. I believe that the third couple, he plays basketball, I think, but I don't remember. He might play football. I don't know these kids, but I seen them, and I had seen a bunch of discourse surrounding his wife's appearance and how people were saying that basically someone of his stature couldn't possibly love her, so that started this many months ago. I kind of saw that planted the seed for this conversation, and then these two young ladies that I'm about to highlight right now kind of brought it home or made it gel a bit more. And then the stuff that was happening with Cardi B made me go, there might be something there to talk about. So first I want to talk about, we're going to go to her Instagram. Wait, where am I at? And don't forget, guys, just a reminder, we do have super chats and we have memberships and all that type of stuff. So just wanted to put that out there. That's not the Instagram. Where's the Instagram? Okay, there's the Instagram. That's what I want. That's what I want. We're going to go here. So this young lady's name is Kalani Bagsby. I don't want to follow. Her name is Kalani Bagsby. And I saw her on TikTok. I saw her on TikTok being featured as a wag. So this says a is the plus size wag we can't get enough of. Wag is a wife and girlfriend of a professional ball player of some kind. And so you see she light skinned, you know, she's a bit preferential, but she is unambiguously plus size. She's not just, you know, thick and curvy. She's a big girl. And I was like, oh, okay. And they were showing her. Let me see if I can see. As you see right here, you know, she got a little belly, she got a little arm. You know what I mean? Like she's not giving Fashion Nova plus size. She's not giving that traditional uh thin in the waist, thick everywhere else. She's giving actual big girl. And I like that. And I found that to be refreshing. I was like, oh, okay, I'm feeling it. And you cannot say she's not foul. She looked like she smelled good as hell. You know what I mean? But we don't know too much about her. So I'm going to go ahead and go to this People magazine article so we can find out a bit more about her. It says Kalani Bagsby, who's dating Dallas Cowboys offensive guard Tyler Booker, and we're gonna like peek at him a little bit, but they're not. We're gonna peek at the boyfriends, right? But they're not the focus of it. So yeah. Opens up to people about how she's navigated her newfound place in the spotlight. No, thank you, people. So that's her boyfriend in the back. Let me see what y'all are saying. Oh, I want this to be bigger. Sorry, guys. Okay, let me. Okay, that works. So this is she, and this is he, and they are together, and they look cute together. So it says Kalani Bagsby began dating Tyler Booker during their freshman year at the University of Alabama. When Booker was drafted to play for Dallas Cowboys in the first round of the 2025 NFL Draft, Bagsby's relationship with hold on, let me put my glasses on because now I'm playing like I ain't got a lot to read. Okay. When Booker was drafted to play for the Dallas Cowboys in the first round of the 2025 NFL Draft, Bagsby's relationship with him was thrust into the limelight. She opens up to people about how her newfound role in the public has impacted her custom game day fits, and most importantly, her goals to bring a more body positive approach to the league. It says Kalani Bagsby was used to being in the public eye. Before graduating from the University of Alabama this year, the 21-year-old was involved in various front-facing activities on campus, including the school's news station, WVUA 23, as an athletic communications department student assistant, and as a tour guide for the stadium. I also want to point, that's one thing I want to point out. These girls all seem to be somehow already connected to the sport, whichever sport their man is playing. So that's something to note. I've always loved public relations and managing social media and sports. That was my thing, Bagsby explains. I always wanted to be a sports reporter. Well, that's what I thought I wanted to be. But then I quickly realized I didn't really like being in front of the camera. Sports and being in customer facing roles have been a long part of her skill set. However, Bagsby is also dating offensive guard for Dallas Cowboys Tyler Booker, meaning that despite not always wanting to be in the front of the camera, she's recently found herself in the public eye. As a significant other of a football player, Bagsby has also become actively involved in the NFL community. Recently, she participated in Instagram Story Takeover on the Women of the NFL Instagram account, taking viewers through a day in her life during the NFL preseason. Look at her, she's so cute. While many of the comments on the announcement post were positive, she admits she also received less than positive feedback, namely from internet trolls about her appearance. So see, she is there. She said, "Oh my gosh, amount of hate I got on that one post for the women of NFL, the takeover post is just crazy. Bagsby, who identifies as plus size, tells people exclusively. It's been happening since the draft. Bagsby says of the online criticism, while the comments are upsetting, Bagsby admits she doesn't mind being more public facing. In fact, she's determined to bring representation to the NFL's community of wives and girlfriends for people with bodies like her own, and period." Hold on, I'm just trying to check in on y'all. She's very beautiful. Uh, I know how to handle the hate, and I don't mind putting myself out there if that means I know I'm helping someone else. And I know that I'm showing someone else, girl, you can do this, she said. You're perfect how you look. Together, she and Booker have been navigating their romance's new place in the spotlight, which has made it easier because of their long-standing relationship status. Bagsby and Booker have been dating since their freshman year at Alabama. Bagsby shares that Booker started following her on TikTok during her senior year of high school, admitting she has no idea how he found her on the platform because at the time I wasn't even going to Alabama. The pair met up on campus when Bagsby followed Booker on Instagram after the school's football game against Texas A&M that year, and the rest is history. Oh, she got him on her back. This is so freaking cute. And I'm sorry, I'm looking at little arm stuff right there. You know, like this is so cute. I love it. She said, "I feel like we're dealing pretty good." Bagsby says is managing their relationship in the spotlight. "I mean, it's a lot more public, but it's kind of just the same as Alabama, honestly. We've always been in the public eye, so we know how to handle it." Her role is part of the athletics communication department in school. She recalls when her work crossed over with Booker's time as an offensive lineman for the university and how it made her job slightly more stressful. She said the rule is no cheering in the press box, or you can't say anything in the press box. "I would love to get up and go to the bathroom and cheer like, oh my gosh, just let me calm down." I'm going to skip a little bit because I have like other articles for other people too. She says since graduating, she settled into her new life in Texas. She was selected by the Cowboys in the first round of the 2025 NFL. Oh, he was draft, and the pair moved to Texas together. She also found a solid support system in her fellow wags, not the game. So everyone that I've met and everyone I continue to meet is super supportive. Look at them. Oh, some of the women started Bible study together. Okay. She doesn't see any tradition. She wears her earrings every game day. She doesn't necessarily believe in the term wag. It's weird to have that title. She said, "I don't mind it, but I just don't want anyone to think that's all I have to me. Like, I'm Kalani. I have lots of sides to me, period." Continuing to play a part in these other sides is her budding social media career. She currently manages the socials for one of the top 5 high school wide receivers in Texas. Okay, so she's a social media manager. More importantly, she knows social media will provide her outlet to continue sharing her game day outfit inspiration for other plus size wives and girlfriends and women. So there she goes. Like I said, she seems to be very cute, very stylish, very fashion forward. She's always made her own outfits. She loves to bedazzle. It's calming, and she's creative, so she knows she can make it. She's going to go ahead, get the stuff, and do it herself. Period. She said her second Instagram, first and fine, post her cuss. Oh, wait a minute, let me see that. Oh, so this is for the girly. Okay, this is her game day fits. So we're going to share this. This is her. This is the post I think that I saw. Maybe not with him on it, but this is the post that I saw of her, this interview that I saw on TikTok a couple weeks ago. So this one made me go, oh, who was that? And these are some other her game day fits. Very cute. Very cute. I love this. Oh, there she go at home chilling. Yeah, so that's nice. We're going back to the article. Say her dream is to one day start a plus size NFL fashion brand, but before she gets there, she's working on making the garments perfect. "I really just want to let everyone know that you're beautiful in your own body. You don't have to fit a certain standard because clearly I don't, and I love myself. It may take time to be confident and love yourself, but trust like it will come. Continuing on, she addressed the hate she received. That doesn't matter because I know I'm a representation and I know that it's helping other girls that look like me be confident in themselves. So I just thought that was just the cutest thing. Yes, beautiful and young. I'm wishing her the best. I hope she continues to flourish in her own identity and style. Hey there, MJ. She's 21. Yeah, these are babies. These are babies. That's why I'm saying, like, for me, it's very hopeful because I'm looking at them and I'm like, okay, they don't seem to be getting caught up in the same stuff that, you know, my generation, and there's a mix of people in here, a range of people in here, but like the younger kids seem to be coming into a space where they're making their own decisions about what's beautiful, what's desirable, you know, what matters. And so that's why I wanted to bring it to y'all, because I'm like, this is really like I said, hopeful. Did I follow this? I want to follow this. I'm gonna follow that, and I'm gonna get off of here. So next, I want to highlight somebody that's a little bit more controversial. Some of y'all might already know that. Oh no, and then let's take a look at her man's. Okay. So this is her man's. His name is Tyler Booker. And I'm on the part that says the man. This is his website. So it gives a little information about him. He says, I was born on April 12, 2004. Oh, yeah, these are my kids' age. And he looks like it. Like, look at him. He looks like a baby to me. He looks like a baby. He's born the same year as my daughter. In New Haven, Connecticut. I grew up playing youth football for the New Haven Steelers and then went on to attend Bergen Catholic School. My sophomore year, I transferred to IMG Academy. Don't really care. He has 2 siblings. Sorry, baby, but I just, it's not that big of a deal to me. Let's see what he's saying.
I'm Tyler Booker. I've got 2 words for you. No mercy. I won in that. Became one of the best tackles in the country.
I know you got every offer in the book.
And I'm putting CT on the map. And I chose Bama, so Roll Tide.
Yo, he's a demon. He's a bull.
I'm a 6'5" monster. You won't get past me. You won't get through me. And at the next level,
This year, nobody touching me for real.
I want all the smoke.
What's going on, Coach? What you got for me today?
What's up, my man?
Good.
All right, get to a little warm-up going on, 2 in, 2 out. Tyler's been with me since about the age of 9.
The reason why I know I'm different is just my dedication from an early age.
Dad would call up and say, hey, can we get Tyler in to train? And I would say the only time we have available is 7 a.m. on Saturday. And he would be here at 7 a.m. on Saturday. You can't even get that from college kids, let alone from middle school kids.
Come on, get another plate up there. It's light. Probably get in here around 3 or 4 times a week. Train with the best to be the best. And that was just the warm-up. We ain't even start yet. Go up.
Yes, sir.
Go up.
He's a bull. He's remarkable. He's just in a different category than even some of the pro athletes we've seen.
This year, nobody touching me. I say it every year, but this year, nobody touching me for real.
I came to IMG to be the best football player I could be and to win a national championship. And that's what I did. In order to be an offensive lineman, you got to be gritty, you got to be nasty and selfless.
As soon as the light flashes, it's a reaction.
All right, so I just wanted to get a feel for who this young man is. He seems good, diligent, working diligently at what he does. But all in all, they're a cute little couple. Like I said, they're babies. I'm so excited for them. Very sweet, very cutesy. So we're going to move on to our next girly. Some of y'all may know her. I'm in the wrong thing. Some of y'all may know her. Did I want to go to that? Okay, so I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do the TikTok. Why I'm gonna do the TikTok? Because that's where most people come from.
So late. I'm so sorry to Trueway because we were supposed to have been on the door. But this is what I'm wearing. A little quick little 1, 2.
1, 2, big little one.
Right. And also not to forget the cherry purse, y'all. I think I like thrifted this. I don't know, but it's so cute. And from the back, right. Okay, Truman, your turn. Your turn.
My turn.
And y'all better be nice to him.
Man, be gentle with me, all right? I don't do this a lot. Just what I put together, my little 1-2, my little pieces. Stuff I picked up from I don't know where, but appreciate it.
Okay, y'all. Wait, how long's it over here?
Shit, 5 minutes.
Okay, it's time to go. Bye. Okay, nice.
Okay, so the reason I picked her, I don't know if y'all know her. Her name is Samira. And within the last couple months, her and Cardi B actually had got into it over something because Cardi B had some kind of merch and the plus sizes of her merch had sold out. And so Samira's main thing, she does a lot of things. She sings. She did she go to Harvard? I don't remember exactly. Did I get that in there? I want to know. Sorry, I'm trying to see if I had did that TikTok for her. No, I didn't. But there was a TikTok a while ago where she basically had to let people know that she's really smart and very accomplished. She played football herself in high school. I don't remember if she played football in college, but I know she played football herself in high school. She was the homecoming queen or the prom queen. Like, she's just somebody who does a lot of stuff. And she also went to, was it Harvard? She went to one of the Ivy League schools for college. So she's not no slouch. Yeah, she met him at Harvard. Okay, yes. I know she says they're friends, but I was just seeing like everybody in the comments like, girl, is that your man? Is that your man? Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, she did. Like, she literally is a jack of all trades. And one thing, let me get big. One thing that I talk about here so much is the idea that this is about self-actualization. My channel is about self-actualization as a woman. So when I see her, I see she is the epitome of what it is I'm talking about when I'm just like, don't let anything hold you back. She does everything, and she's done everything. She's had the quintessential experience that we were promised through like the Disney Channel and everything like that in terms of high school, college, just being that girl. She is the main character, is my point. So then she already had that. People are always coming at her because she's so vocal about inclusivity when it comes to fashion. That's been the main thing that I've known her for on social media, because that's what I've seen, mostly people reacting to her and being mad at her for being fat and vocal. So then when this came up and everybody's like, wait a minute, who is that? Is that your man, girl? And I just thought it was so cute. And like, yeah, she very much so just said that they're friends and that is their business. And I'm not trying to put anything else on her, but just the idea of like her being in that sphere and being in that space to be linked to people. To me, these girls are just as visible as, say, like a Lori Harvey. However, they are way more pedigreed than a Lori Harvey because they are educated, because they do so many things, you know, outside of their proximity to these men and outside of what they look like. And so that was why I'm feeling like, is this a trend? Is this something that we can look to in the future and say, okay, all this bullshit that we're always going on and on about and having all these Twitter beetle battles about, is it irrelevant for the up and coming generation? And I'm hoping so. I'm crossing my fingers. Yes, they say incredibly rude things to her in the yes, they're horrible to her. Like, she did something, I was looking for it because she had mentioned something. I saw her do a post about Doritos at the Super Bowl, because I believe he went to the Super Bowl and she was at the Super Bowl, and she had some endorsements, and one of her endorsements was Doritos. And in the comments, people are saying, oh, you don't need to be eating Doritos, or of course you would be endorsing Doritos. You know, like, people are just always so mean to her. So I just was like, it doesn't make any sense. But yeah, and I have some other things from her. Here's this one.
Y'all, Truman ain't never put an eye patch on before. Come on.
Never. She handed me this like I know
put it
what I'm
on.
doing.
You know
with
what? You can figure it out. You smart. You
I
went to
can figure
Harvard.
it out, but yeah.
You went to Harvard.
Okay, I see how it go now.
Okay.
Take it this way and put this little corner on the
Okay.
inside. Right, how close to the eye?
How close your eyes is together.
There.
Yeah.
That's it.
Get into it. You did it.
Thank you. Elevating my skincare routine one step at a time.
I'm elevating my morning routine. I got 3 different matchas here. So they got a regular matcha. Also the citrus one. This is allegedly a strawberry matcha. Y'all know I don't like berries. I do not subscribe to the berry agenda. I prefer melons.
First sip with a strawberry matcha.
Okay, strawberry, how's it going?
Very good.
Very good?
Very good.
Very
Light,
good?
light strawberry.
Light strawberry? Light strawberry? I don't
Not
know.
doing too much.
So I would like it. Okay. Losing me.
Lose it.
Immediately.
You're a berry hater. So
I'm a very hater. Wait, I need you to like model for topicals.
Model for topicals.
And with the matcha, hold on. What the matcha again?
I ain't got my quarters in yet, but hey, we about there.
Dude. Okay. But anyways, I'm gonna let Truman introduce himself. This is like one of my dearest friends from college. Yes, he went to Harvard, smarty pants. And he literally studied biomedical engineering, smarty pants. He was pre-med, smarty pants. And now he played the NFL. So I'm gonna let Truman talk to y'all while I sip my matcha.
My name's Truman Jones. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. Grew up in Atlanta. Went to Harvard. Studied biomedical engineering. Was on the pre-med track. Was going to medical school. Like, had really taken MCAT and all of that. And then transitioned to NFL. And so rookie year 2023, started with the Kansas City Chiefs. And so if you know football, 2023 Kansas City Chiefs means won the Super Bowl with them. Was with them for another year. New England for a year. Was with New England for middle of this season. So to about week 9, week 10. Then went to Tennessee. And so I've been active roster with Tennessee Titans. We'll be there next year. Got a new head coach, excited about it. Playing outside linebacker and, just increasing every day. Just stacking. And so
Truman don't got no TikTok. He, so I can't help y'all out. I really can't help y'all. Truman, you gonna make a TikTok?
no, I'm probably not gonna make no TikTok.
There y'all go.
No. Catch me on Instagram.
Catch me on LinkedIn is actually crazy.
LinkedIn
and that's why I gotta stop the camera there.
Come on.
No, because Harvard graduates do too much. Yo, Truman ain't never put an eye patch on before. Come on.
So yeah, that's why I was just yes, wow, right? He didn't, and that's what I'm saying. Like that's what I'm like. I'm feeling like there is an emerging pattern here because I'm looking at not just the girls. Like okay, the footballers are choosing the girls, but which footballers, which pro athletes are choosing these particular girls? They're choosing really intelligent, beautiful, vivacious, confident girls that do not have to fit these aesthetics that we'll hear, our elders getting up there talking about oh yeah, no man wants this kind of woman, or a man only wants this kind of woman, blah, 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 blah. And I'm looking at the babies and they're just like, hey, we're just kicking it. We're just here being smart and cool and having fun and being sweet and cute. So I, for one, am feeling very positive about my daughter's prospects and stuff. Like I said, my oldest daughter's boyfriend, from what I see, it has that. He's not Harvard graduate or nothing like that, but as far as like how he carries himself, very much so respectful and kind and sweet, and someone that I would want my daughter to be around and to feel confident that she's going to have a nice time with this person. So I am just very much so. Now it says the Cowboys. Also, I'm going to share this one too, because this is him talking about his journey and how he wound up in football, to get a little bit of an idea about who he is as a person as well.
So that I can get into medical school at any point, but the NFL has to happen right now if I want it to happen. It has to be this season, this year, and that was even before having my last season. So I didn't really know what that would look like. I was still pretty far away from it, but talked to my parents, talked to my parents the most about it, and then prayed about it. We were just like, please let this work out, please. Just let me get back onto a stable pathway if this doesn't go, if following my dreams falls through.
It sounds like you prepared yourself for both.
I did. I did. I was
even now, like you got, if you wanted to, God forbid something happen, you're still set up.
I am. And it just comes from being like a nerd or a student first. Of like, that was always plan A. And then it's like, wait, this other stuff is working too. Like, so I think that's in my back pocket, but it's because it was also at the forefront of my mind for so long. Like that was my main focus.
So yeah, I cannot say enough good stuff. Like I was just like, oh, okay, look at these really smart, cool, intelligent young people. The kids are all right. Thank you, Babs. Welcome. I was just so like my heart is just full and it just makes me, you saw me smiling and everything. It makes me smile. I'm so happy. So then there's one more person that I want to highlight. I wasn't able to find too much about them, but this was the first couple that I was talking about. Like I said, I saw them on Twitter, and the only reason they were brought to my attention because people were discussing this lady, specifically discussing the wife, and they were saying, of course, men, always a man. They were saying that basically no one, he can't really love her type of thing, and no um high value man, blah blah blah, wants this type of woman. I'm gonna go there. I have to read his name. I can't say his name by itself from memory because, respectfully. Okay, so who is Giannis Ante Antetokounmpo? Antetokounmpo. I hope I said it right. Wife, all about Mariah Riddlespringer. They got some names on them, don't they? So this is them. I'm assuming this is them probably before she had babies. They have 4 kids now at this point. I think he plays basketball. I don't. He's in the Milwaukee Bucks. So whatever that is. This young man has quite the support system. In addition to basketball fans who affectionately refer to the NBA star as the Greek Freak, and they really gonna put this name, huh? Antetokounmpo counts his 3 kids and his wife, Mariah Riddlespringer, among his biggest supporters. While not much is known about the early days of the couple's relationship, the NBA champion and fashion entrepreneur wed in the summer of 2024 and are currently a family of 5, having welcomed their sons Liam Charles and Maverick Shy in 2020 and 2021, respectively, and daughter Eva Brooke in 2023. Together, Ante oh my God. Together, he and his wife are a force in the philanthropic world. They launched the Charles Him Family Foundation in 2022 to support nonprofits in their local Milwaukee community and around the globe. I feel like it's even more of a blessing because we get to do this together. It's a partnership, and I have a very good partner. Um, so who is she? And here's everything to know about Mariah Riddlespringer and her relationship with the basketball player. So this is them too. It looks like they're pretty young. This is probably, in school or very early on in the league. In May 2021, she launched her own apparel brand, Sincerely Mariah, a collection of loungewear pieces inspired by all the remarkable people she's met over the years. During an interview, she explained she first started working on the brand while he was in the NBA bubble. She was like, this is something I need to do for me. I know this will help me feel more like me again, reflecting on how she was struggling with feeling isolated amidst COVID-19 pandemic, in addition to being a new mom. It's stuff you can wear around the house, running to the store. That, you want to know something? I've, in my mind, that has been the type of clothing. If I were to do a clothing line, I would want to do that because I've been a mom for so long now. I'm like, I would need stuff that I could just live in. To celebrate the accomplishment, she shared several posts on Instagram, including a touching tribute to her husband, who she credited for motivating and supporting her through the process. They have 3 kids together. This is their sons, and I guess she was pregnant with their little girl there. They welcomed their first son, Liam, in 2020. In 2021, they welcomed their second child together. A few months later, she revealed the name of their second son, Maverick Shy. In 2023, I'm sorry, I'm trying to see. Okay, that's them too. And in May 2023, they revealed they're expecting their 3rd baby. Our dreams are becoming a reality. She captured their picture. Oh, they had a little baby girl. So they had 2 little boys. The baby girl, I could tell he looked just like his dad. In September 2021, the proud parents announced they welcomed their daughter Eva Brooke. They got married in 2024. Oh, okay, so they weren't married when she was having the babies. Period. She has a degree in sports management. Again, that's what I said. Keep your eye out for that type of stuff too. These are women that have an interest in what these men do already. According to her LinkedIn profile, Riddle Springer attended Rice University in Houston, Texas, where she graduated with a degree in sports management and sociology. As a student, she worked in the NBA Summer League. As an intern for 2 consecutive years after graduation, she worked in basketball operations for the Philadelphia 76ers. Oh, that's nice. She's a former volleyball player. She started a foundation in 2022. And so this is the picture that I had seen on Twitter where people were talking about her in a negative way. And she just looks like a woman. You know what I'm like? I was so upset because I'm like, why are they, girl? I said, why are they treating this lady like that? And it's clear, like, whenever you see them together, he very much so loves and respects this lady. And where they kept coming up in my mind as well is because when I watched YouTube on television and stuff, there's an advertisement that comes up. I think it's for the Google Pixel. It's for a phone or a camera or something. And it's him taking a picture of her. And I just see her. And every time I see them together, or even just him, there's another one where, yeah, it is the Pixel because he's taking a picture of her in that one. And then there's another one where it's just him and it's showing like a feature that will answer your text messages for you or something. So, yes, these are highly accomplished, highly educated women, but they always said that high value, I hate using that term because it's become such a cartoony thing, but you know, men that are in these positions of wealth and privilege and prestige, they want educated women. They want women that are accomplished. They want women that are about something. So yeah. But this is the picture that I saw that people were talking about her, and they were talking so nastily about her. And I did this was like last year sometime, and that always stuck with me. So then when I started seeing him in these advertisements and having her there and seeing all these different articles, like even today, I was trying to look up, unfortunately, those posts that I had seen before. I couldn't even find them because there's so much positive stuff about these two. There's so much positive stuff about her as an individual, so much positive stuff that he has to say about her, which I love for her. So I just was like, oh, I'm going to include this in here because, again, this is an example of you don't have to worry about being the baddest bitch. You don't have to worry about, you know, these aesthetic things to get a good quality man. If that's something you're into, you know, I'm not big on promoting, no, that's the be all end all, but realistically speaking, some of us still want to be partnered. So what I'm saying is, for me, it's making me look at, focus on getting your education. You know what I mean? Focus on developing yourself, self-actualizing as who you want to be in the world as a whole full person. And then another whole full person that's operating at a high level like that is going to come and find you. So now I kind of want to get to the flip side of this. Let's discuss Stefan Diggs, because this is somewhat about Cardi B and like what happened between her and him, and just trying to figure out like how did we get there. Because I personally, I love me some Cardi B. I do think she's an accomplished person. I do respect her come up. I used to watch her on Love and Hip Hop. I watched her on Love and Hip Hop, and what I liked about her on Love and Hip Hop was that even though she would be like dealing with these men that would be trying to play her, she still would stay focused in my mind on what it was she wanted. She would go for what she wanted, and she would execute. And so then when she came up, and also she seemed like and I know there's going to be people that's going to talk about her calling people roaches and this and that and the other. I'm saying in terms of her social stuff that she was hanging with, she seemed like a personable person. She seemed like she just wanted to get along and make friends and you know, and everybody come up. And I like that about her. And so when she got married with Offset, I didn't really think too much about it at the time. You know what I mean? I don't feel like he didn't have, and it could just be me because I don't be paying as much attention to certain things, but he didn't necessarily have a reputation as a bad guy. He just was a rapper. He was up and coming, or he had been established, I think, by that time. He was nouveau riche at that time, right? But he was in a position where she does seem like a good mom. He was in a position where he was like someone who could help. I won't say up her he did kind of help up her profile in the sense that like she got started being taken seriously as like a real contender. I think that she did have, hey, 2Ls. I think she did have like her own thing going in terms of, okay, she did Bodak Yellow, everybody's loving it, but then her getting with Offset, being able to do motorsport and things like that really kind of anchored her there, and like, okay, she's one of the people now. She's one of the rappers. Child. So when it comes to that, they got together. She knew he had a bunch of kids. He did cheat on her before. That's where he got the lady to get beat up and everything like that. But then they got married. Now I could see, because this is also, I'm wanting to know, there's some questions I have in terms of like what we're looking at here. I wanted to know why was Cardi B susceptible to falling for a man like Stefan when there are other kinds of men around? So that's where I was trying to highlight where you're seeing these young men, that are out there. Should we desire partnership, and how can we as individuals set ourselves up to partner with men like these first ladies I highlighted have? And then what are the parallels in the qualities of these high value men that we see in the other 99% of people that we're dealing with? So first I want to deal with, why was Cardi B susceptible to falling for a man like Stefan when there are other kinds of men around? Well, again, as someone who watched her on Love and Hip Hop, you got to remember, she was dealing with somebody that was in jail. She kept saying, oh, that's my man, that's my man, that's my man. This person was in jail. So we can assume, I think, that he was probably doing some drug dealing or something like that. So she's used to dealing with hustlers. She comes from that hustler mentality of, pimps and hoes, basically. And I'm not saying that to call her a hoe, sorry. But I'm saying like she was a stripper. So I think she came from a world where it's like, well, these are the kind of, this is what men are. Yes, her environment and proximity. This is what men are. This is what the highest value men are, where she's kicking it at. And so she is a high value woman where, she's kicking it at. She's a stripper. So she's beautiful. She's got the BBL. She's not black. You know what I mean? So she's dealing with a different kind of paradigm in terms of what constitutes as high value or not, what constitutes as normal or not, and what you can expect in a relationship in that environment. So then her getting with Offset, I feel like, and this is all in my mind, this is speculation, of course, I feel like that she felt like because he married her and because they both were stars in that sense, that there was a certain level of security that came from that, and being able to deal with him and feeling like she could trust him and feeling like he would be invested enough to do right by her. Then when that didn't work out, she went on. The part that bothered me was when she was doing that interview with, who was she interviewing with? Was that Gail? I don't remember who she interviewed with, but when she said that, Stefan said, well, let me heal you. Now, mind you, I'm going to show y'all something.
Like to date your sister.
What the hell? Diggs.
Why Diggs?
Man, no. We're going to leave it like that. No.
What guy on this team would you least like to date your sister?
Oh, Stefan Diggs.
Why Diggs?
He's crazy. He's just outrageous. Don't know what he's gonna say. Just don't know what to expect every day. So he couldn't date my sister.
What guy on this team would you least like to date your sister?
Least like to date my sister, Diggs. 100%.
Why Diggs?
Because he's not a guy that you want to bring home to your parents. Like, you don't want your sister to bring him home to your parents, so therefore she can't date him.
What guy on this team would you least like to date your sister? And I might add, you're starting to be the runaway favorite for this.
Would nobody want me to date this sister? I'm a great guy. I'm actually a great guy.
There's actually seems to be a few guys that don't think that.
Feel differently about me?
Yeah.
They just don't know me well enough. That's what it is. It's the appearance. All right, who don't I want to date about sister? Weatherly.
Why Weatherly?
Because he's ugly.
I knew that was coming. That was the problem.
He's hot. He's hot. Get the camera on him. Least like to date your.
Okay, so his peers, a jury of his peers, right? Says, look at Meg and Klay Thompson. I love them as a couple. He's not the typical guy that Meg used to date or what people expect that. I'm glad you brought that up because yes, I was going to get to that. Even thinking of like Meg's arc, her dating arc. Meg started out, she was messing with Moneybagg Yo. Remember? She was messing with rappers and things like that, and she was being tied to a bunch of different rappers. But now you're starting to see her transition into sports people, because who was that guy? She was dating some sports guy like right around the time the trial ended, I want to say, and then that kind of went away, and now she's dealing with Klay. But you're noticing that like she's going from this one type of archetype of successful black man, which is rappers, and the rappers tend to lean very heavily into this image of being womanizers, of being, emotionally abusive, for real, emotionally manipulative, disrespectful, having to have harems, having to deal with women in a way that's not monogamous, not respectful. It puts the women in a certain space of devaluing that now she seems like she's trying to transition away from. So she called herself a stripper hoe. Yes, that very much so speaks to a certain kind of identity within herself, and or a certain familiarity with that kind of dynamic. I think she thought he was a good guy based on his profession. She must not have been aware of his reputation. The thing is, though, people were already initially, when she, very similar, gotta say it, very similar to Halle Bailey, people were saying, hey, him, you know what I mean? Like people were already saying like, not him, you don't want him, he's not the guy. And I feel like at that time, because of what was going on between her and Offset, it really was just a time of, and this is not me trying to paint him. It does seem what's that called? Predatory. But instead of her taking the time to go and sit down and just be hurt, by the failure of her marriage, by everything that was going on, by just deal with it. Instead of her going to therapy, she decided to go and deal with this guy who came and was like, hey, get with me. I'm going to throw this money at you. I'm going to take you and treat you like a princess. I'm going to heal you. Like, that's what she wanted to hear. And I would say that that's what any woman would want to hear. Now, is any woman going to believe it? Not necessarily, but I think that any woman would want to hear, yes, he's got weird charges. I don't know if she knew about that. And I mean, again, when I say I don't know, I'm saying I genuinely don't know. You know what I mean? Like if she knew about that or not. But I'm saying that I think at that time, it was one of those things where she was just like, hey, the way you're interacting with me is making me feel better than sitting in the reality of what's going on with me. And the fact that he took her to a castle, like he really was love bombing the fuck out of her. So it's just like, I could see how someone coming from her background with her ideas about what a good relationship is and the pinnacle of what a relationship could or should be, how she would be susceptible to that. Said if you're going to have a whole phase, wear condoms and use birth control. I think that's part of the idea of that escapism is like, oh, it's a fan. And this is not me trying to say that it's right. This is not me trying to say, oh, yes, it makes sense. Do this. This is me, trying to speak to the mindset. I can say for me, when I was going through things, and I wrote about it in my book, when I was going through times of not making the best decisions around my sexual choices, one of the things was that I wanted to feel close to somebody, and I want it basically, it would break the fantasy. It would break the fantasy if you're thinking in terms of, oh, this person might not be trustworthy. That breaks the fantasy. And so you just kind of, oh, I'm getting swept away. I'm so, even when she was talking about it and she was like, oh yeah, he said, let me heal you. And I'm like, okay, that gesture she did is it in a nutshell. It's that thing of like, oh, my head and my heart, you know what I mean? Like my head says no, but my heart says yes, type of thing. It's that wanting to be swept away. It's that wanting to be, oh, this is just happening, and I'm just be in love, and I'm being swept off of my feet, type of thing. That's what she wanted to do, because the reality of what was going on was just, it was hard, it was complicated, it was embarrassing. Offset was being an absolute ass, so it was more convenient to just be like, this guy really fucking loves me, he loves the fuck out of me, I'm his princess, and wanting to go on with that. Said, I remember hearing a kid yell, she's dating him, when I was dealing with someone years back. His mom tried to hush him, and I was like, no, 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 he's right. Right, the babies. What else? We're still doing our Stefan Diggs, I ain't even going to call it a deep dive. So I have a couple articles here about him and his children. That's Stefan Diggs, and this is his charges. So we're going to start with him and his children. Jesus Christ. Hold on. I'm going to leave that there. This can go. All right, so all about Stefan Diggs' kids, including his baby boy with Cardi B. Now, why they got that picture, that baby in a baby face? It says Stefan Diggs welcomed his oldest child, daughter Nova, in 2016. The New England Patriots wide receiver and Cardi B welcomed their first child together, a son, in November 2025. That same month, people confirmed Diggs' father, their daughter Charlie Harper Diggs Lopera, with model Aileen Lopera. As Stefan Diggs completes 2026 Super Bowl with the New England Patriots, he'll also have his kids rooting for him. He became a parent just 1 year after being drafted. That's crazy. When he welcomed his daughter Nova, he expanded his family several years later when Cardi B welcomed their first child together that same month. And in December 2025, Diggs was arrested and charged with felony strangulation or suffocation and misdemeanor assault and battery following an alleged disagreement with his chef about money. Diggs categorically denies the allegations. His attorney, David Meyer, told People at the time the football player is scheduled to appear in court February 13, 2026. Here's everything to know about his children. So that's his daughter, Nova, running with him. Over the years, he shared glimpses into his relationship with her and spoken about her personality. He says she reminds him of his younger brother, Trayvon Deshaun Diggs, Lord, who's also an NFL athlete. When I look at her, I'm like, whoa, you act just like Trey. He brought her to several of his football games over the years. Okay, so that's something he normally does. Maybe Cardi shouldn't been upset about. His older daughter might be most known for stealing the show at his 2022 Buffalo Bills contract extension meeting. He put her on his lap when she told the Bills manager, "Show me the money." Okay. Later that same year, Bills posted a sweet TikTok video of him hoisting her from the stands and taking her to run on the field and sprint towards the locker room. At one point, he carried her and told her to yell, "Go Bills." Nova has followed her father and uncle's footsteps by getting in her own physical activities, including martial arts. Okay. Her and the grandmother have a close relationship. He shares a daughter with Charlie Harper with model Aileen Lopera. Diggs became a father of two when his daughter, Charlie Harper, was born April 2025. When mother Aileen was pregnant, she filed documents claiming Diggs was the father of the child. And at the time of the initial filing, she requested legal and physical custody of their baby while allowing Diggs visitation rights. He contested the baby was his and requested genetic testing. However, he also clarified if the testing showed he was the father, he would request joint legal and physical custody. Um, they confirmed that in November 2025, and they're hopeful he'll meaningfully contribute to the child's life and co-parent with the client who has to do everything on her own thus far. Lord. Okay. He welcomed his first child with Cardi B in November of 2025. That same month, Diggs welcomed his third child with his first Cardi on November 13th, 2025. The rapper's rep confirmed to people she gave birth to a baby boy. Cardi's healthy and happy. It says my life. That's stuff she's saying. She already had 3 children with Offset. Diggs shared some of the things he's excited to do with his son. He said, "It's a boy. That's enough for me. I can't wait to make him do push-ups and sit-ups and run around." Cardi, who announced her pregnancy, told the outlet she was excited for their future. "I'm happy," she said at the time. "I feel like I'm in a good space. I feel very strong, very powerful that I'm doing all this work, but I'm doing all this work while I'm creating a baby." So this was, when was this? Because there's another baby, but they don't mention that baby. Oh, this was published on February 8th, 2026. So I don't know what's going on. Oh yeah, that was the end of 2025, that other baby. So yeah. Child, it's too much going on, honey. Offset never spent more time with his kid than when he was with Cardi. Listen, that was something else too. And I'm going to talk about like how we'll talk about some things. I'm going to put this here. That she made sure they were included in the family events and gatherings, because that is something. In fact, let me get big and we could just hit on that right now. One of the things that I feel like comes with, like I said, that mindset that it seems like she was probably in terms of what the norms are for relationships, where Cardi comes from, is that the women are the nucleus of the family in terms of actually making the family run. The men are the nucleus because they're valued, and you want to have a man in the house, or you want to have a man and my man. But the women are expected to keep the families together. The women are expected, especially when they marry them, they're expected to just take and withstand any and everything in the interest of the family unit. And so, yes, when they got together, I know one of the things that women pride themselves on, if men like being needed, women like being needed too. And unfortunately, in ghetto situations, one of the ways women feel like they bring them so much value is that they are able to make the man see the value in being family oriented. They're able to get the man to bring all their kids together, and they're able to create the environment where all the kids can come and be welcomed because they are such a woman. They are so domestic, they are so feminine and divine that they can be the one that bridges those gaps and creates that environment where now he's able to be a righteous father and show up the way he's supposed to. And I think that is the hubris of the dysfunction of, I'm gonna say, the Black community. I know she's not Black, but she is in Black culture. You know what I mean? Like, she is immersed in Black culture. Everything about her is Black culture, along with the Dominican and everything like that. Like, it is so overlapping, aside from like the Spanish speaking, in terms of where she was at and how she has conducted her business, her branding, all of that. So when we're talking about how a lot of women, especially in the, people talk about baby mama culture and stuff like that, even though they got married, there was still very much so a aura of baby mama culture surrounding their relationship, because he had like 2 or 3 baby moms already when he met her. Like, and I know that a big thing in our community is that the men and the women think that, well, as long as the man gets married, all of that can be wiped away. Because for the women, for the men involved, it's like, oh well, I'm an upstanding citizen now, and I'm a wife maker. I can be a baby mama maker, and I can be a wife maker. And once I make somebody my wife, well, now we can be respectable. And if the woman's willing to do the work, we can bring the kids into this environment, and we'll be better off, and the kids will be better off than in the single mom environment, whereas the single mothers are discarded and they're not as good and everything like that. And the draw for the women in those situations is they're able to say, oh well, I was the woman to tame this man, I was the woman to be able to get this man to see the value, like I said, in domesticity, the value in being a family man, and to get him to settle down. And because he saw in me how womanly and feminine that I am. So that's the payoff for taking on a man like that in those situations. And I think that's hubris. So take that, just the ghetto mentality aspect of it, and then add on top of it that celebrity and rapper swagger aspect of, I get money, I could take your man, all these things. Because that, pussy rap culture, and just rap culture for the men, because rap culture for the men is always, oh, I can get a bunch of women, the women want me, I got a bunch of money, I can take care of all these women, I can have a bunch of kids, I can have a wife and a girlfriend and a this and a that. That's rapper culture. And then pussy rap culture is, oh well, I could take your man, I'm just that bad of a bitch, my body is just that much, my pussy is just that much, I'm just that amazing that I can just make all these things happen that you can't. And so that is where the hubris comes in, of like, oh well, I can deal with this type of man, I don't have to look for a different type of man, this is the best type of man there is to have, and I will be able to tame him. Let me see, I think it was about her not wanting to be hood about her children. So what do you mean? I don't know exactly what you mean by that. I'll come back to it. Now I'm going to go to, this one is about his charges. So Stephon Diggs' assault charges explain why Patriots wide receiver is playing and amid lawsuit involving former personal chef. Charges of misdemeanor. Diggs is facing multiple charges, including one felony allegation. Diggs has been Drake May's top target all season, overcoming 2024 ACL tear and giving the young quarterback a reliable veteran pass catcher to help the Patriots' offense blossom. As New England tries to engineer a Super Bowl run, Diggs has remained on the field as AFC East champions. Here's what you need to know about his charges and why he's allowed to continue playing. Diggs was charged with a felony strangulation or suffocation misdemeanor assault and battery as a result of an incident that allegedly took place on December 2nd in Massachusetts. Boston's 25 News first reported on December 30th. He has not yet been arraigned. According to TMZ, his former personal chef claims the Patriot star slapped her and tried to choke her out over a salary dispute in early December, citing the police report. She reported the incident to police on December 16th, and charges were filed 2 weeks later. I'm going to stop you right there. Now, I saw in passing like a picture of the chef, and she had the BBL situation. That wasn't just about money. You're not going to tell me that was just about money. That wasn't just about money. I don't believe it. To what end? Why would he be choking her? Why would it get that heated that he would choke her? Why would he be that familiar to feel like he could choke her? I don't believe it. I'm not saying I don't believe he choked her. I don't believe it was just over the salary. The woman claims during the conversation, Diggs became angry and smacked her across the face. He's smacking her? She said she attempted to push him away, but then he tried to choke her using the crook of his elbow around her neck. What is going? Yeah, this is a little bit. TMZ reported the woman also claims Diggs threw her onto a bed. How did you get from the kitchen to the? Yeah, this wasn't just about that. Sorry. The alleged incident took place one day after the Patriots defeated the New York Giants on Monday Night Football. Diggs categorically denies the allegations, but has largely stayed quiet about the situation ever since. The NFL typically waits until while he was still playing. They typically wait until legal cases are resolved before issuing suspensions, which is why Kansas City Chiefs wasn't wide receiver Rashee Rice, for example, wasn't suspended until 2025 for an incident that occurred in March 2024. As long as that precedent is followed, there isn't any reason to expect Diggs will be suspended by the league at any point in this season. Given the charges were filed, Diggs was set to be arraigned on January 23rd. His lawyers were hoping to reschedule the court date until after the season, which they did. 2026 Super Bowl, yeah, he happened. Diggs could be suspended at some point, but NFL will likely wait until his legal case is resolved before making a decision on a punishment. That means it's possible a suspension doesn't go into effect in 2026, given that the case could drag out all year. It's worth noting the NFL does not need a guilty plea or conviction to suspend a player. NFL policy calls for the league to conduct its own investigation, regardless of how the case is handled legally. For example, the NFL suspended Ezekiel Elliott 6 games after investigating domestic violence allegations that never resulted in criminal charges. Yeah, so that's the end of that article. I just wanted to kind of get into like who is this person and why, not why do we care, but like who is this person in contrast to these other people that I were highlighting. Now, mind you, Cardi B and Stefan, they're in their 30s. I think Stefan is 30 or 31. Like I said, these other Giannis, I want to say might be around the same age, in the same age range as like Cardi and Stefan and stuff. But the other two were younger, younger kids, 22, 21, all that type of stuff. So like I said, to me, it's an emerging trend. I'm looking to the younger kids to kind of start tightening up this mess that everybody else is making, because it is sad to see. So yeah, I want to get back to my questions of why was Cardi B susceptible for falling for a man like Stefan when there are other kinds of men around. Now I will say this much. And somebody else has said it earlier, proximity, right? I find Cardi to be intelligent. She said, yeah, why are these personal shots also exactly? Why is that necessary? Like, hey, you need to get somebody in there with some arms on them. You know what I mean? Like, get a grandmama. Get somebody in there that's gonna cook you the food you need and going about their business. She said, good call on the points of intimacy as it pertains to him. Because how you get to the bed? Is there a bed in the kitchen? How you get to the bed, chef? And this isn't just on her. I'm saying, like, I think there was more going on than just that. Baby mama petty nonsense. I don't think Cardi wanted that when she was married. Apparently, one of Offset's baby mamas wasn't with the All in the Family dynamic, and Cardi won her over. Yeah, well, this is the thing, and this is what you have to understand, and this is something you got to see it when Cardi and Offset separated, and then Offset started taking jabs at her. For him to say, oh, you're my baby mom, I won. You're not going to tell me that he wasn't also doing that or hadn't also kind of done that to his other baby moms. And mind you, and I'm saying this as someone's baby mom, and having that person and their family, even to this day, will come and try to do that thing of like, oh, you're just a baby mom. You get what I'm saying? So I can see how if people who do not have anything else going on in their lives, who don't have other projects going on, who don't have better things to do and to worry about, would feel a type of way about you giving something to someone that you denied them in terms of making an honest woman out of them and putting them in that position to be able to do that. It also creates an environment where you feel slighted about certain things and you feel like the person is getting smart with you or the person is trying to pull rank on you or stuff. These dudes are not people of integrity. And so everything that they do, every connection that they have and the way they wield these connections, they use these connections as a power trip. And so when they're talking to these women and they're having these conversations and they're doing this stuff, mind you, Offset was shown to not necessarily be that hands-on of a father in a general sense, until Cardi came and said, hey, this is what we're going to do. We're actually going to be a family. He's not someone who gets into the whole parenting thing. So this is someone who's been weaponizing the idea of being a parent and everything like that. And then Cardi comes and it's like, oh, let's go ahead and be a fan. I can just see he probably was doing a lot of triangulation as well. You know what I mean? Of like, they never take responsibility and just say, hey, I don't want to be bothered. And it is what it is. Putting it on other people, leaving it up to other people, letting other people take the lead, whether it's to bring the family together or to keep the kids apart. Because, some women, they get in there and they're like, okay, well, I don't give a fuck what happens to you and yours as long as me and mine are good. Cardi was not that person, but some people are. And so what I'm saying is when you're dealing with, a serial baby father, there's a lot of room for resentment and triangulation and things because these are not people who handle their business in a way that diminishes that kind of problem. And even with Stefan, like the whole thing, I saw the baby mom, the other baby mom that came to the Super Bowl that had all the red on. And mind you, that didn't even look like any one of the women that was in the article. That looked like somebody else. But the baby mom that had the red on, she kept posting things, and you could tell she was posting things to Cardi because she was using her music and she was saying things that you can tell were at Cardi. Now, that's another thing about the ghetto culture. Women fight with other women or women take jabs at other women by being able to say, hey, I've been with your man, even if the man is not claiming them, just being able to say, well, I was with him. He took me out. He spent money on me. He gave me a baby, whatever it is. That is how women are, because again, pussy rap is about my pussy's better than yours. How do you measure whether your pussy is better than another woman's or not? You know what I mean? So it's you live by the sword, you die by the sword, basically. I said, I think his first baby mom was resistant. I'm sure she was. First of all, I just think Cardi has strong family values. She's very invested in marry before you carry, and she admitted to being afraid to tell her parents she was pregnant by Stefan. Cardi didn't want to be like that. No, I mean, and the thing, who wants to be like that? And that is the unfortunate thing, I think, about being in a space where you feel like your prospects are limited. Because if the best you think you can hope for is Offset, if the best you think you can get is an Offset, what exactly are your hope? You're going to have to build a man, basically. You know what I mean? He had, in terms of, he was a successful rapper, he had money, he had prestige or whatever, so in that sense, they were equally yoked, or maybe he was a little bit higher than her on the hierarchy or whatever at the time. But you're just like, oh, well, I'm just gonna have to work on all the other stuff. And then even too, that's something that really hurt my heart for her. And I'm not saying she didn't necessarily enjoy it, because she was doing the same stuff with Stefan too. Remember, they was on that boat and he had that little pink cocaine. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you want to live that what's it called, sex, drugs, and rock and roll lifestyle, you can't really be expecting Leave It to Beaver. You know what I mean? And it's like, but I feel like that is, again, that psych out of thinking, oh, well, I can somehow manage, he's the head and I'm the neck. I can manage to tame him by participating. I can be the one. It was something I was a TikTok I saw where they were talking about the women who will be like, "Oh, I pick out the girls for us. I pick out the girls for us." You know, and the mindset behind that at the end of the day is you thinking that you can control somebody who is categorically chaotic. If you're thinking you're never going to be freaky enough, you're never going to be sexy enough, you're never going to be, forgiving enough. There's never going to be enough because like I was talking about with the whole boundaries thing, it's not about bonding with you, it's about bargaining with you. It's about, oh, your boundary is right here. Well, what if it's here? What if it's here? What if it's here? So when you're in that space of like, oh, well, I'm going to be freaky with you and we can have sex with women together and we can do all of this stuff, they're going to want whatever is just beyond what you're willing to do, because that's what it's about for them. It's not really about the thing you're doing or not doing. It's about, I want what's just beyond your boundary. And so you're never going to, you know what I mean? And the difference between a Stefan Diggs and an Offset and these other young men is they seem to be rooted in a sense of purpose that is not about controlling other people. It's more so about self mastery. You get what I'm saying? Like it's more so about internal self mastery. And those are things that align more with family values. Those are things that align more with integrity. Those are things that align more with stability, emotional stability, relational stability, and things like that. They're not looking for, that external validation of, oh, well, am I the sexiest? Am I the baddest bitch? Is my pussy the best? Can I get the men to give me the money? You know what I mean? Like those are those other things that are externally validated. And this is not me saying that like, oh, well, you should just not care what you look like and this and that and the other. You should just go the complete opposite way and put on weight if you're not already big and all that other stuff. But it's more so about saying like, spending more time developing yourself as an individual and like I said, self-actualizing outside of this idea of relationships. And that's what makes it so hurt. That's why it was such a painful thing to see Halle Bailey go through it. It's such a painful thing to see Megan Thee Stallion going through it with Tory Lanez and them. Is a painful thing to see Cardi go. Like it's painful to see these women who seem to already have all this stuff going for them. They seem like they have plenty on their plate to be able to focus on and, like I said, internally validate themselves that they're somehow still winding up in these situations with these people. But again, it's about proximity. It's about what you believe is possible and what you believe is normal. And so, like I said, I am way more hopeful for the younger generation because they seem to be looking at us like, yeah, I don't know what y'all got going on, but we're gonna go ahead and get these educations, we're gonna go ahead and get these jobs, we're gonna go ahead and do this stuff, and we're gonna come together and we're gonna build these families. And I love that for them. So I'm gonna go ahead and add the what's that called? Oh, put the link there. Sorry, I'm trying to pin it. And zoom. No, I don't want that. Pin message. Okay. That's all I wanted to do. I wanted to pin the message up there in case anybody wanted to come up because period. But yeah. So we can get rid of that. But that was pretty much it. I am so, like I said, I'm so excited about seeing these young ladies with these big beautiful bodies and just getting out there and getting their flowers socially, getting their flowers in terms of desirability and everything like that. Like I said, I'm not necessarily expecting or looking for a whole turnaround in terms of we go from the BBL body to the BBW body, right? But I would hope that the younger girls are not going to be going through the same types of things I know I went. Child, first of all, between colorism, fat phobia, you know, racism and all that stuff. When I was growing up, it was a mess. So being able to see now, those girls are a little bit, they're giving a little bit of exotical. You know what I mean? In terms of I haven't seen a darker skinned one yet. I just haven't seen it. I haven't been looking. These are just people that came across my feed, right? So there's still other things. We got a ways to go. But in a general sense, um, I find this to be encouraging for the younger girls and encouraging not just for them, for me too. Not because I'm looking for somebody, but just in a general sense of representation matters and being able to see that, like I said, women with regular bodies, and these are regular bodies because most people in America are overweight. They try to act like we're not. They try to act like it's something different, but most people in the United States, I think that I'm the average size. I wear a size 16. That's the average size for a woman in the United States. So, like being able to see normal bodies for real, um, in those arenas and in those places and being highlighted and being celebrated and being loved on is such an important thing. And I wanted to bring that to the timeline. Um, and it just happened to be around Valentine's Day. So yay for us, right? But yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't see anybody coming up, so that is okay as well. I'm gonna go ahead and bid you guys good night. I hope you enjoyed my little presentation here, my little musings here. Um, oh wait a minute, was there something else I wanted to hit? Oh yeah. See, look at me, about to shut, and I didn't. I had more questions because that was the first one was why was Cardi B susceptible to falling for a man like Stefan? Were there other kinds of men around? So we kind of discussed that. Um, Second question, should we desire partnership? How can we as individuals set ourselves up to partner with men like the other ladies have? So when we're talking about, she said, "Hey, I'm 14 and 60." Yeah, that's average. Girl, I have seen I didn't sit and watch it fully through. I've seen pieces of it. I've seen people talking about it, right? And child, I can't right now. It's just like my mind just was like, not even right now. I can't right now. But yes, I heard about it. I saw it. Um who was that for? I don't even remember what was that for. What was the advertisement for anyway? I was looking for because they said Samira had a she had a commercial or something too, but I haven't been able to find it. I saw the Doritos one, but I felt like the way people were talking, there was another one and I couldn't find it. So I was looking for that. But in terms of the question I had, how can we as individuals set ourselves up to partner with men like the other ladies have? Like I said, one parallel that or one recurring theme that I saw was these are women who are interested in sports outside of, the men. They were in sports medicine or they were there for what was it for? Management or things like that. Like they were in and around a subject matter where they would be seen by these guys, right? Also, they know the culture of the football. Not the culture of the football. I sound so disconnected, right? But they know the culture of the football. And so they were able to relate to these men. They were able to understand these men. They were able to, converse with these men and build relationships with these men where they already know what type of lifestyle they are living. So I think that's valuable to them as well. Also, these are really intelligent women. Samira is a Harvard graduate. The other one went to Rice University. These are not slouches. These are not just, hanging out well, the girls weren't in the song, but hanging out the passenger side of their best friend's ride. Women can do that too. You know what I mean? These are not just women they're meeting in the club. These are not women who have to lead with their bodies, with their sexuality. You know what I mean? Like these are women of substance. And that's not to say that any woman who's aesthetically beautiful does not and cannot have substance. But I'm saying that like when you're coming from a place with limited resources, when you maybe couldn't go to school or something like that, you may be relying more on your looks, you know? And so these are women though that are more akin to higher society, upper echelon social situations, which is also something that has been, a lot of poor men who like to try to cosplay or um, daydream about wealth, their perception of wealth. They'll try to tell you, oh, that's not what richer people or wealthier people want, but they do want educated wives. They want educated wives. They want worldly wives. They want wives that they can take somewhere. You know what I mean? So it's not just about, again, because they have other things going on with them. They are impressive in other ways. They're not worried about trying to impress a woman, with bullshit, because they actually have impressive things, just inherently impressive things going on in their lives. And so they're willing and able to be with women who are also impressive within their own right, right? So I think that that's something ultimately, we talk about here, self-actualization. That's a part of it, is being impressive enough for someone to have to do a little bit more to impress you. You know what I mean? Like, you're not just sitting around like, oh, he took me out to dinner and he did this and he spent a little money. He bought me a Birkin bag. He bought, you're going, and again, this is not necessarily about trying to extract resources. I'm not talking about it in a way in sense of trying to extort resources, but I am talking about it in terms of like what your standards are going to be. People talk about standards, boundaries, and expectations. What are your standards? Why is it that so many people have kids with, and that's something I'm gonna wind up talking about in the near future, because there's something going on where it was some comment section where the baby moms were there basically like, oh yes, I don't trust my baby father, he could never watch our kids, like I would never leave my kids with him. And it's like, how did you wind up having a baby with somebody that you don't trust? So there is something to be said about like having kids with people that you find to be unintelligent or dangerous or inept, like what is going on here where we're not just hanging out with people who don't have basic human don't meet basic human benchmarks, but we're having kids with them. Like there's a disconnect here. There's something going on, right? It said the Tyson ad was funded by RFK Jr. and his okay. That rings true. That makes sense. It said a church sister told me that I need to start exercising because I'm getting fat. For reference, I was always a 4 to 6. Child, listen, and who is this, and what do they look like, and what's going on in their life? Like it's always something. The third question is, what are the parallels in the qualities of these high value men that we see in the other 99% high value men? High value men. So by high value men, I'm talking about Offsets and the Stefan Diggs, right? What is it we're seeing in them? Well, like I said, they call it the baby mama culture, but I'm gonna call it the baby father culture of, oh yes, I can go around and leave a baby with all these women as a marker to say, look at what I was able to pull, look at what I was able, look what she let me do. You know what I mean? So these are people, and which is so sad in the case of, like I said, Offset and Stefan Diggs, because y'all are living so many men's dreams. You know what I mean? And the fact that you think so little of yourself and what you're doing there, that you still feel like this is a way to express or convey value for yourself, is by going around and creating all these situations with these different women. And then, like I said, for that woman that, like, that's so tacky, that woman that was taking them jabs at Cardi B for being at the game. Mind you, you sitting all off somewhere. Cardi's all up with everybody. You know what I mean? She's with the other celebrities. She's been in the boxes with the owners, and like, you, okay, you're at the game. Okay, you're at the game, and you're trying to take a jab at her. Like, that's just that's so low rent. Like, I can't even. That's so low rent. But yeah, breeders. It's really, we need some deep healing in our community. Like I said, I hate that even when we're winning, people are still acting like losers. You know what I mean? Like, that's really sad. My hope for Cardi. It is giving losers. She said, I was going to read her down, but I see the Lord. Well, that's good, and good, lucky for her. But it's very loser behavior. That's why I wanted to highlight those winners in the beginning, because they walk in a spirit of abundance. They walk in a spirit of winning. They walk in a spirit of worthiness. The young men and the women. So Mary said, "Would you mind if I still come up?" Yeah, I think I pinned the link. So yeah, come up if you want to. I just be leaving because y'all don't talk to me. And I'm like, well, I done said everything I had to say. So I don't got nothing else to do. Everybody done ate. Everything is going on. So yeah, she could come up. But yeah, I hate that for the girls, and most importantly, I hate that for the children, because at the end of the day, they're going to have to combat all of these feelings and all of the. Sorry, I'm looking at something. They're going to have to combat all of this mess that their parents are participating in and have created for them, and that's so sad. She said, "Tell me about it." And she slept with her at who? The church person? Or who you talking about? We waiting on you now, Mary. You okay? Let me see something. There might be some other stuff I want to show y'all while I'm here. Stuff that's not connected to anything on the thing. Because we already talked about everything we talk about tonight. I can get this out of here. Oh, so yeah, I have a couple things. I've already set up like a couple lives I'm outlining for y'all, because there's a lot of juicy things that are going on that I've been collecting stuff for. Oh, there she is.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Hey, Mary.
Okay. Hey, how's it going? Hi, everyone.
Everyone say hi to Mary.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I really like I guess like I'll start with this. Like I really like this topic because yeah, I mean like it's not necessarily to say that it's like an inspiration. It's like, wow, if they can find love, I for sure it's not from that vantage point necessarily, but it's more so of like it doesn't like you don't have to adhere to like certain guidelines in order to I guess I mean like to get the companionship that you want, but like more than that, like to get like the to command the respect that you feel that you deserve and like to cultivate a like curate if you will like the people that you want around you like you don't have to subject yourself to ridicule and things like that because of what society deems that you deserve. So and it's really inspiring to see these young ladies like you know finding their niche within themselves and not necessarily on the basis of being with or associated with footballers or football players, I guess. Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. It's a main thing, and that's why, like, I can be, me. I will sit here and be like so scared to say anything because I don't want to give the wrong message, and I know how things can be misconstrued on the internet. But yes, 100% to what you were saying. I think, and I always talk about points of reference, and I think it is really important to be able to see that, like, no, this isn't something that is just uh for a particular type of woman that you don't fall into. It's for all of us, it's for everyone, and it's all about how we feel like what we feel like we deserve and how we command the things that we want in our life. So absolutely 100%. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Thank you. You know what's funny? I was just as I was joining, like I guess someone called me by accident. I'm like as I was about to, and I was like, okay, but they just texted me and said it was an accident. But anyway, but yeah, like I think that's helpful now and then, especially like if I may, especially like with me ending a relationship or like mutually, I guess, like agreeing that I guess was it conscious uncoupling, so to speak. Like it made me realize that it was like I don't it's not like male partnership isn't necessarily something that I desire in the sense of like it's not something that'll make me complete because it's not it's not like what's it called? It's very arbitrary, I guess, because it's like, based there's like so many variables that are you have to take into consideration to determine that this person will respect you. And they may even pretend to respect you for um, you know, a long enough time until they recognize that it's like they cannot get from you what they desire and that them feigning that respect, so to speak, isn't going to yield the results that they want. So like at that point it's just like throughout the years, like I've been learning a lot about just like presentation as far as like modesty for reference. I hope I'm not talking too much. Okay.
No,
Okay.
listen, normally nobody come talk to me, so you can talk as much as you want.
I appreciate it. Like, yeah, I just wanted to make sure I wasn't like veering off, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, like as far as like modesty is concerned, like I have like a Christian background, which I'm like slowly shedding away from, which it's kind of like yeah, I'm like slowly shedding away from, if not for like if it wasn't for like the community that I've like developed through the church, it'd be like a wrap completely. And then also with my like family, like there's like expectations there too. But anyway, I digress. But like I've come to learn that like even within like how you show up, like I guess like they want you to be modest, they want you to dress respectfully. They say like how you dress is how you'll be addressed. And I feel like, I mean, obviously, like that's extremely problematic for many reasons. So it's just like, I feel like it only falls in line with women because, like, I told this guy, like, when he said that, I was like, oh, so like, what if I like saw your clothes, like your outdated polo Ralph Lauren suit, your scoffed like what's it called loafers, and determine that you're a bum. Can I call you? Can I address you as a bum because you're not like by that standard because like your jeans or like your whatever aren't like up to date? Would it be fair to call you a bum? And they were like shocked, I guess, because it was just like, wow. I mean, I don't care, but it was just I don't care about their reaction per se to that. It's just like more so like because that is so insulting. It was just like, so what if I called you that? Like, what if I told you you were a bum? Because in my estimation or in the estimation of the world, you don't know how to dress. So like, would it be okay to call you a bum? Or even, and I think this person was black. So like, because you're black, like you're saying that is justified for people to treat you the way that they are because of their estimation or assumption of like your character based on the color of your skin. Granted, it's not something you could like, you could change. Well, I feel like dress also is like not necessarily something that that's it's so arbitrary that it's not something that you can like definitely be certain that you'll get respect for based on what you wear because things look different on everyone, one. And then two, like people just may not want to respect you. So it like doesn't matter.
That's definitely something that's there in like when we so even going into like respectability politics and things like that. I think one of the main things that should be a takeaway from any conversation that is had about like how to choose mates and all of that type of stuff and just generally is this is all kind of arbitrary. I think it was RuPaul that said like it's all drag at the end of the day. I
Hmm.
do feel like though these things are kind of shorthands and shortcuts sometimes to being able to evaluate the vast amount of things that you have to assess when figuring out, when vetting and when vetting people, period,
Yes.
outside of romantic relationships, just in friendships and alliances and things like that. One of the things that I feel like is a takeaway from this particular conversation is like that you can kind of see the difference in value. So, for instance, in the girls who were, like I said, you can tell they value education. They
Mhm.
value achievement and discipline, which is so interesting because one of the main things that gets said about fat women, fat people, or whatever, is there is a lack of discipline, right?
Mm.
But in those people, there's clearly a discipline of mind, a
Mhm.
discipline of the time they spend and what they spend it on. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Of the things that they are investing themselves into that can have the type of outcomes and dividends that they are now experiencing in terms of the places they're able to be at, the people they're able to be around. And so I think it really needs to be newer discussions. Like I said, I'm always talking about how the discussions need to evolve, how I'm tired of circular conversations about the same things that are just
Mhm.
yielding the same um outcomes. What are these young people doing? Clearly, they're not just talking about fit, feminine, and friendly. They're not devaluing education. They're not worried about what they look like in terms of the traditional masculinity. So their virility and being able to sleep with all these different women and what the women have to look like and all these things that have nothing to do with actually getting to know people, actually having values that will carry anything but mess into the future. You know what I mean? Like these are
Yeah.
trying to start having conversations about what the values are, what they need to be, how to get there, and all that other stuff, and be done with all this superficial bullshit that's really, like I keep saying, it seems like childish. It's based off of childish perceptions.
Mhm.
So immature perceptions, I'll say.
Right.
Immature,
Yeah.
distanced perceptions of what we think people in that position want, need, think, believe, do.
Yeah.
You know.
I agree. Yeah, and also like to that point, I recognize that the young ladies who like Samira and I forget the other lady's name. Is it
Kalan? Let me check my.
Kalani, yes, yes, yes. Yeah. So like with them, like their main thing isn't like they mention like representation and like their
Mhm.
value and representation, not in the aspect of like they feel like they have to show up in a performative way, but like they're like authentically themselves, but and also with that they recognize that in being themselves authentically, that representation they have an obligation, so to speak, to show up in that way, like for others. Whereas I feel like with a Stefan Diggs and like whatever have you, it's more of a like based on like it's more of a comparison of like their like perception, like
Yeah,
it's how to show up and how that reflects me and me only, and not
yeah,
necessarily
it's a
like
bravado. It's a mask. It's a bravado. It's that thing. I think this is an indication that we're moving into more of a time of authenticity. Of like, okay, who actually are you? You know what
mhm
I mean? And what is the value of you as a person as opposed to trying to live up to these external um the archetypes,
yeah,
have nothing to do with you for real, for real. Like anybody can step into those things. But who
true,
are you? What do you bring to the table that is uniquely yourself?
right, yeah.
Oh, well, thank you so much for coming up and speaking with me and
Oh,
adding to the conversation because it did give it a layers. And I want y'all to know, like, I'm not up here because I just want to pontificate and just tell you what I think, and I'm the queen here. It is about asking questions. It is about starting these inner dialogues of, okay, like, what is this and what does that do and how can we move? And yeah, I was wondering about that because again, I want to see these conversations other places. I want to have these conversations. I'm tired of pop the balloon. Like I'm tired
Mm-hmm.
of fit, fun, and friendly. I'm tired of big piece of chicken and protectors and providers that don't want to protect or provide. Like I'm tired of that.
Right.
And like where are the people that are doing it the way I actually would want it to be if I was going to do it?
Right.
And what are they?
Agreed. Well, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.
And good night, everyone.
Yes, good
I'll
night.
hop off. I'll probably still be in the comments, but yeah.
Yeah, no problem. I'm just going to,
All right.
finish everything up. But thank you so much for coming up.
Yeah, no problem. Bye. Good night.
Yeah, so I want to thank you all for being here. I want to thank you all for participating. Please don't forget. Oh, yes, we have a new member too. Let me go and see. That was pinned. Let me go back. I'm sorry I ain't pinned it. There we go. I want to thank you to Babs Z4E for becoming a member. Welcome, girly. You in here. I am working on trying to customize things, trying to figure out the sticker situation and everything. I also, oh, you know what? Let me check my Discord because why is it not doing a thing? I'm still trying to figure out my Discord bot because I connected my Discord, my channel to my Discord, but it didn't show in my Discord like when I came live and stuff. So I don't understand what's happening. So I need to help me. I don't know. But thank you so much for joining. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Don't forget to clip if there's anything that you see on here. That's how all these other people get big, is people are clipping their stuff and sharing it and stuff. So if you see something that you feel like people need to hear, whatever, you can clip. You have my permission to clip it and share it. Tell your friends, put them onto the channel, whatever it is. If you have anything that you want me to talk about specifically, if you have any kind of connection to me, whether it is on TikTok, Instagram, Discord, I don't really go on Facebook that much, or here. I think y'all can make comments in the community tab as well. So like if you want to post something on the community tab, you can do that. You can start conversations amongst each other in here. Let's show people that it's popping over here, okay? To get the girlies coming in. Also, thank you to everyone who are already members of the channel. I appreciate you so much. This is an exciting new leg of the journey of Level Up Single Mom. We have memberships and stuff like that. I appreciate any and everything that you do. Also, appreciation what Mame Hamoon is still on it with the commentary and everything on the replays and stuff. So thank you. If you want to go back and watch stuff and comment on that, any and all engagement is a help, is a drop in the bucket towards spreading this message, spreading this movement, whatever it is you want to call it, just letting women know that we are here and they are safe. They can come and sit with us. So I appreciate all of you guys for spending this time with me. I will see you all again next week unless something else comes up before then. I have a couple of lives set together. Wednesday is going to be our anchor live. You know what I mean? Like Wednesday is going to happen regardless. I have a couple other ideas that I'm like outlining for the Wednesday lives, but being that the cycle comes and there's always something happening, I may start adding more lives to it. But right now I'm just trying to stay consistent with the Wednesday live. I'm also doing standalone videos. They're about 5-6 minutes each about like the ideology of Level Up Single Mom. So those are also shareable things. If people are like, well, what is this? What is this about? You can send those to people because it's basically slowly explaining what Level Up Single Mom is, why we talk the way we talk over here, why we're doing things the way we do them over here. So that's what it's about. But again, I appreciate you so much, and I will see you next time.